Alright, what's going on, guys? Got another gold guide video for you today. It's the Famas. Real quick, before we get too far into the video and you guys start skipping around, if you haven't seen one of my videos, I'm just going to kind of explain how I have the video structured. So for each gun, in this case being the Famas, I'm going to have it broken down into 4 different builds. Then after the 4 different builds, there will be a section of the video where I go over the Camo Requirements, which is just all the camo categories, what you have to do to like complete them all. Then I'll tell you what maps to play on, the best game modes for the map, any other tips and tricks that I have just in general for getting gold. But the video is going to end up being probably around 12 to 15 minutes long, because for each build I'll break down the gun and all the attachments I'm using, what type of playstyle I had while using the gun. So if you're just here for the builds, I'll have all the timestamps down below. You can just quickly go to that part of the video, look at the attachments, copy it, and then get on with your day. But if you want to hear that in-depth explanation, I'll have that as well. So hopping into the first build, it should be the kills build. Alright, so here's the kills build. It's very similar to all my other kills builds for those other guns that I've done gold guides for. The optic, you can use whatever optic you like the most. I like the GI Mini Reflex because it's got this thin frame, so you have less of a chance of blocking somebody with that, but you can just use whatever sight you like. The laser, I always use the 5 mW laser because of the sprint to fire speed. It's very important to have that in hardcore, which is what I recommend you guys play if you're trying to do your gold challenges. It's just the easiest way to get them done. So I recommend using the 5 mW laser. And then I use the FSS tack wrap, which just helps with your ADS speed. The rear grip, I'm using the stapled grip tape. This is going to help with your ADS speed, which is very important, and then also your sprint to fire speed. If you don't know the difference between the two, ADS speed is strictly like when you're hip firing, that time between hip firing and being able to aim down your sight. So it's going to reduce that time so you pull up your gun quicker. Sprint to fire speed is when you're running. Say you and an enemy are both running around a corner, you see each other, you go to shoot. It's that time from running to being able to hip fire your gun. So both having those two pros is really important and really good to have in hardcore. It'll net you a lot of kills, and save you from dying. For the underbarrel, I'm using the Merc foregrip. This is my favorite foregrip. It helps with your hipfire accuracy and also recoil control. The weird thing with the Famas is I personally use it on burst. I saw other people using it on semi-automatic when they were going for their challenges on shoot house. I saw a couple people kind of using it like the FAL. But then I also had a friend who used it on semi-automatic, and he liked it a lot on semi. I just used it on burst, but I can definitely see the appeal for semi-automatic. So that recoil control, it's kind of like, if you're using it on semi-automatic, it's not a huge deal to have that recoil control, but if you're on burst, then it would be, it will be nice to have. And I think that's actually it. That's it for the kills build. It's pretty generic to all my other kills builds. But the next is the reload build, I think. Alrighty, so here's the Hipfire build. I didn't actually use this. I used the kills build because there's only the attachments that make it good at hipfiring are already on the kills build. But if someone's specifically going for hipfire kills, there is a couple more attachments that you could have that are gonna help you. So the mandatory attachment, in my eyes, for a hipfire gun is the laser, which is the 5 mW laser, which is going to help most with your hipfire accuracy. You can see here, hipfire accuracy is increased, as well as the 1 mW hipfire accuracy is increased. But if you go down here, you can see that it reduces your accuracy a little bit. So the 5 mW is better. The only con is that it is visible to enemies. So if you find yourself dying a lot to people shooting you around the corner, you could swap to the 1 mW. But personally, I believe you should just stick it out with the 5 mW. It should make your life a lot easier. That's the first mandatory attachment in my eyes for a hipfire gun. The second is the underbarrel, the Merc foregrip. It is the only foregrip, if I go through real quick, recoil, see this, no hipfire. The Merc foregrip does have hipfire accuracy. Tactical foregrip does not. Bipod does, but in order for the recoil control, not recoil control. Actually, no, it doesn't. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hipfire accuracy is what we're looking for. Bipod doesn't do anything. Operator foregrip doesn't, and Ranger foregrip doesn't. So the only foregrip that does help you with hipfire accuracy is the Merc foregrip. So again, another mandatory attachment in my eyes. And those are the only two attachments that help you with hipfire accuracy, which the kills build has. So when I did the hipfire kills, I just used the kills build. But again, like I said, if you're specifically going for hipfire kills, and that's it. You can have other attachments such as sleight of hand, the ammo, and then the suppressor to help it. So how the ammo and the perk tie in to like make it easier for you is when you're hip firing, you're not as accurate, which means you need to shoot more bullets to kill the person, since you're not going to hit every shot most likely. So having an extended mag just means you can shoot more times before you have to reload, so you'll be able to get more kills. Now that also ties into sleight of hand, because if you're shooting more, you're draining more ammo from your magazine. You want to constantly have as much ammo in your gun as possible, which means you're constantly reloading. Faster reload times means more likely that you're not going to be caught in a reload and you'll be able to kill the person. So that's why you sleight of hand and ammo. And then really this is just a space filler because there's no barrel attachment, no optic, and no stock that's going to help you with hip firing at all. So the next thing would be a suppressor, because it's going to keep you, it's going to suppress your sound. So it's going to it might give you an extra second to live if the person can't figure out where you're shooting them from. So that's really it. That's the only benefit of having a suppressor. It's going to help you with damage range, but that really doesn't tie in one in hardcore, and two on any map other than ground war. But so again, you could use the kills build if you're specifically and only going for the hipfire challenges. Then this would be better than the kills build, but the kills build would also work just fine. So moving on to the reload build, here it is. Just use whatever sight you like. I prefer the GI Mini Reflex because of the thin frame. I use the FSS tack wrap for the increased ADS speed. Of course, you want sleight of hand because you want to reload faster before you get your kill. Rear grip, staple grip tape's gonna help with your ADS speed and your sprint to fire speed, very important in my eyes. And then your underbarrel is the Merc foregrip, which is gonna help with both recoil control and hip fire accuracy. It's pretty similar to the kills build. I think the only thing is I took off the laser and replaced it for sleight of hand. So that's really the only difference. And last but not least, we have the Longshot build. Now, real quick before I actually get into the attachments, you want to make sure that you have for your tactical, you want to make sure you have a smoke grenade. The reason for that being is I'll put a picture up on the screen right now. You want to be, right before you get onto this wall right here, you want to throw a smoke grenade over the wall, like into the mid lane. You want it to puff up and block the vision of anybody looking through mid lane. Then jump up onto this wall, mount your gun. It'll help you get your mounted kills challenges. And then just look through the smoke with either a thermal sight or a night vision sight, whatever one you have unlocked at the time. And you'll be able to see through the smoke and kill anybody that's on the other side of the smoke. If they're on the wall, that kill will count as a long shot, and if they're in front of the wall just a little bit, it'll also be a long shot. So you can both get mounted kills and long shots at the same time by going at this spot. Breaking down the actual gun itself for the attachments, again, like I said, use either a thermal or a night vision sight. Thermals are usually the later unlocks. Right here you can see thermal hybrid and Merc thermal optic. They're the gun's a level 65. These are the later attachments, where you scroll up a little bit up here, Solo Zero night vision enhanced. It does the same exact thing, believe it or not. It's night vision, but you'll still be able to see through the smoke. Even if the guy has cold-blooded on, you'll still see them. They'll just be darker. They won't be lit up all orange. But it still allows you to see through the smoke. I actually use the night vision scope more so than the thermal, because when I went to go do the long shot kills, this is what I had unlocked. I didn't have these other ones unlocked. And then these other these other attachments are really just going to help you with damage range, which doesn't matter. But you might as well take it because all you're doing is sitting on this wall, and aiming stability. For your stock, you're going to use the Forge Tack Ballast? I think that's Ballast. Pack. It's going to help with your aiming stability, just so you keep your crosshair as steady as possible. It's not swinging all over the place. Granulated grip tape, I believe, helps the same. Yep, aiming stability, aim walking, steadiness doesn't matter because you're just mounted on a wall. The underbarrel, Merc foregrip, it's going to help with your recoil control if you're using burst. It'll just make your gun even more of a laser. And that's really all you're looking for because you're not going to be hip firing with this build. And then the barrel, it's going to help with your recoil control, which is the most important out of these three pros because damage range and bullet velocity doesn't really matter on a small map like Shoe House. But you're mainly, like I said, you're mainly just taking it for recoil control. But yeah, that's it for the builds. And now I'm going to hop into the camo requirement part of the video. Alright, so now we're into the camo requirement part of the video. So just straight out of the gate, all I want to mention is I'm not going to keep saying the variant because of the game mode, because they're all going to be hardcore. It's just the easiest way to get these camos done. So all the variants are going to stay the same except for skulls, which you can also play ground war. So you have to play core. If you play ground war, there's no option between hardcore and core. So I'm just not going to keep repeating the variant over and over again. But getting into the first one, spray paint, you need 800 kills. The game mode you want to play is either shoot house or shipment. That way you get the most kills in those game modes, you run into the most fights. And then the weapon build, I would recommend using instant kills build. Then woodland, you need 125 headshots. Again, play shoot house or shipment. And then again, same build, use the kills build. Now it might sound silly, I've said it before, but try and go in with a mindset of you want to specifically get headshots. You don't just want to get a kill, you want to get a headshot. Because in hardcore, if you're really just focused on hitting the head, and you're shooting at head level, it's only going to take one shot to the head to kill somebody in hardcore. So I kept that mentality, and I was able to get a lot more headshots in my games. For digital, you need 160 crouching kills. Same thing, shoot house or shipment. You get the most kills that way. For crouch kills, I kept the mentality of I would spawn, and I would crouch right away, and I would play my entire life. If I was on shipment, that is. I would play my entire life crouching, I would never stand up. That way, any kill I got was a crouch kill. And then the weapon build you want to use is the kills build. For dragon, 75 hipfire kills. If you actually do digital and dragon together, you can get the increased hipfire accuracy by crouching. And then if you hipfire them, you'll get both a dragon kill and a digital kill. And then the weapon build, you can either use the hipfire or the kills build. If you're going to use the kills build, I recommend swapping off an attachment and putting on a 5mm laser. But you can use the hipfire build if you're specifically going for hipfire kills. For a splinter, you need 100 long shots. Again, you want to play specifically shoot house, not just because you can't get a long shot in shipment, I don't think. And then the variant, well, I said I was going to say the variants, but the variant's hardcore. And you want to use the Longshot build of the FAL. If you're skipping straight to this part of the video, go back and watch the Longshot build. I'll explain the playstyle of exactly what you want to do on shoot house to get all your Longshot kills the quickest and the fastest. For topo, topography, you need 100 mounted kills. Again, do the same exact thing as your long shots, because you'll be able to get a long shot and a mounted kill at the same time. And you could do it on shipment, but if you're going to go for your long shots and mounted kills at the same time, you need to be on shoot house. And then, depending if you're going on shoot house, use the long shot build. If you're going on shipment for your mounted kills, use the kills build. And then if you used any of the attachments, not any of the attachments, any of the builds in the video, they all have 5 attachments, so you'll be getting a tiger kill once you have that challenge unlocked. Doesn't matter what map, again, that's a mistake. Ground war shouldn't be there, it should be shipment. But play on shoot house or shipment because you'll get the most kills in those game modes. And then you can use whatever build you want. I'd recommend the kills build. For stripes, you need 50 reload kills. Play on shoot house or shipment. And then the weapon build, you can use the reload build if you're specifically going for reload kills. Or if you're just using the kills build, you can get it passively using that build. For reptile, you need 110 kills with no attachments. Again, you want to play on shoot house or shipment. The same reason, most kills, most fights. And then there's no weapon build because you need to use a bare bones gun. And last but not least is skulls. You need 35 3-kill streaks, and then you either want to play on shoot the ship, which is just shipment or shoot house. I just was saving space by saying that. Or ground war. So if you're getting smacked around in shoot house or shipment, play ground war. But I would definitely start out in shoot house or shipment because of the reason you're going to run into more people. So if you're playing shoot house or shipment, play hardcore. And if you're playing ground war, you have no choice, you have to play core. Then the weapon build I would use would just be the kills build. It'll work perfectly in both those game modes. I mean, if you're playing ground war, maybe put on a higher magnification scope. But the GI sight should be fine no matter what. But that's actually it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, drop it a like. If you didn't, a dislike. I always feel weird asking for people to subscribe, although people have been subscribing, and for those that have, I get a notification on my phone whenever someone does. So I see you and I appreciate you. But I always feel weird asking for it, so I'm just going to put in a little clip here of Jev explaining that whole thing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.
Jeb is such a lame. He used to mock people for asking for subscribers, and now that's all he does. It's like, dude, the analytics between a video where you tell somebody just simply adding, hey, can you subscribe, versus not. It's actually insane. It's literally a friendly reminder that you can subscribe. I ain't begging for shit. I got enough. But if you want to subscribe, I appreciate it.